first move that I will do, I will abolish the Constitution and I will establish the only logical and rational Constitution, which is the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
The spiritual battle is coming to the West, and the enemies are wokeism or Marxism combining with Islamism to go after what we call the American way of life.
This last week, New York City elected a Muslim communist to govern the city. Zohran Mamdani was elected mayor, and his allegiance is to Islam, and his allegiance is to communism. His allegiance is to a religion incompatible with America, and his allegiance is to a form of economy incompatible with theism. It's incompatible, really, even with Islam, which is why it could never stay as communism, but that's another story for another day. So we're going to get into that, and we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about the Islamic takeover that we're in the middle of, and we're going to talk about socialism and what you need to understand about socialism and the problem of Christians buying into socialism. It is a serious issue. The very minor difference between socialism and communism, that really socialism is just kind of on the way to communism. And we'll be talking about all of that. In this episode, we'll be showing you some of the things that he had to say, talking about the Islamic takeover, that we're already starting to see them play their hand. And so I'll be showing you that. Next episode, we'll be talking about socialism and letting you know some things you need to know about socialism. So let's get started. Welcome to Truth Transforms. My name's Adam Markley, and we are going to be talking about that today. We've got a serious issue in New York. This is terrible for the state. This is terrible for the city. This is terrible for the nation. And this is terrible for believers as this Muslim comes in, a Muslim jihadist comes in, and now we have a serious. We're having more and more advancement of Muslims in governing roles, and it is a serious issue. Well, this communist, self-proclaimed democratic socialist, had this to say on day one. If you haven't seen this, he did not wait long. He did not wait long to say some of the things that he had to say. Understand that he is a believer in the state being the God. That is the God of communism. That is the God of socialism. It is the state that takes care of you. It is not God that takes care of you or the church to take care of you. It is making the state God. We have man is very creative at creating different gods. AI, the artificial intelligence revolution, is creating a god out of bots. A god, kind of trying to create a god in that way. Well, communism is creating a god out of the state, and so if the god is the state, then the state provides for you. The state gives you everything that you need. So you're fully provided for from the state. And he's promised a lot, hasn't talked about how he's going to pay for it. Well, this is the first video that he released the day after. And he went through, can't play the whole thing for you, I'm going to play it safe by playing some of it here. And so he went through and he said, talked about some of the things he's promising to do, and he's going to do this and do that, and it's going to be great. We're going to make the city great. It's going to be great, guys. It's going to be wonderful. And then he starts to kind of transition the things that he's talking about. And he is talking about his transition. He's now mayor-elect. It'll begin on January 1st, as mayor. And this is quite interesting what he has to say here.
On the front lines of the fight to improve our city, government veterans with proven track records, policy experts from around the country and the world, and working people who know better than anyone what our neighborhoods deserve. And this will be a period, like the campaign we ran in the City Hall to come, defined by transparency, because New Yorkers deserve a government they can trust. On January 1st, I will be your mayor. New Year's Day, and a new era for this city. Oh, and one more thing. Remember how I told you a few months ago to stop sending us money? You can start again. This transition requires staff, research, and
You can start. Let's go back to that. You got a little bit of smile.
this transition requires staff, research, and an infrastructure that can this moment. And it will be made possible by the people who...
You can start.
So I hope
again.
you'll make a donation at Transition 2025.
It's crazy. Like, he's just like, so here's how you can donate. Someone else had it freeze framed on that smile, and it was funny because it's just like, you can start again. It's like, okay, are you a capitalist or a communist? Well, you're not going to be able to do what you need to do with the tax dollars. So I'm trying to get some donations to continue there, and do whatever his real plans are, as if anything that he's saying in the video are part of his real plans. That's a whole nother story. So you can laugh at the humor in that because it is quite funny, but it's not funny what's happening to New York. It's not funny what's happening to this country. It's a really terrible thing what's happening to this country. Charlie Kirk talked about Islam being used by the left. He talked about Islam being used by the left to destroy this nation. This is just 2 days before his assassination. Pulling it up right now. We'll take a look at this. Just 2 days before his assassination, and here
The spiritual battle
is what he had to say.
is coming to the West. The spiritual battle is coming to the West. And the enemies are wokeism or Marxism combining with Islamism to go after what we call the American way of life. And the American way of life is very simple. I want to be able to get married, buy a home, have kids, allow them to ride their bike till the sun goes down, send them to a good school, have a low-crime neighborhood, not to have my kid be taught the lesbian, gay, transgender garbage in their school, while also not having them have to hear the Muslim call to prayer 5 times a day. That's important. We want the American way of life, which is, by the way, Christendom.
Yes, and they are hearing the Muslim call to prayer 5 times a day in Dearbornistan, Dearborn, Michigan. I actually lived there in 2013, and I can tell you that it looked like another country. You would drive. I didn't live in Dearborn. Let me correct that. I lived outside of Dearborn, and I had to drive into Dearborn for training for where I was working for a short period of time, a couple of months. And you drive in there, it's like another country. You drive in, everything's in Arabic. You drive in, and women are walking around in burqas. It literally, that's why it was called Dearbornistan. It looks like another nation. That was 2013. That was 2013. And nobody ever did anything about it, so it just gets worse and worse. And now everyone's like, oh, wow, I can't believe what's happening in Dearborn. It's like, I can't believe that it hasn't happened already. That was 2013. Like, people have been warning about this stuff for so long, but no one ever pays attention to these warnings. And then all of a sudden it hits major news outlets a decade later, and they're more than a decade later, and they're like, wow, how did it get this bad? And it's like, people have been shouting about this since like 2010, I think at least. Definitely David Wood, someone that deals with Islam a lot, has definitely been sounding the horn, sounding the alarm for a long time about this. Let's complete this.
Christians, our sacrifice, our toil, our vision, the outgrowth of the scriptures gave us Western civilization. And this is where I think is a great rallying cry. Doesn't matter if you're Hispanic, doesn't matter if you're Asian, doesn't matter if you're black or white. Everybody, if you are Christian and Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, these two threats are combining forces to come after us. And it's time that the church stands and rises up against it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you need to understand that it is not, Islamic terrorism. It is not radical Islam. I mean, it is the ideology itself. It is, there are more extreme forms, but I mean, they get more extreme when they get in control. That's just the bottom line. And so here we have, I've got a note about it, Muslim leaders explaining how America can become an Islamic State. Do we have time for it? I think we do. Let's go ahead and watch this. How America can become an Islamic State. All right, so 33 seconds says lay out the plan.
What we as Muslims want to implement here in the United States. We believe the Constitution should be replaced by the Quran.
First move that I will do, I will abolish the Constitution and I will establish the only logical and rational Constitution, which is the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
When it comes to spreading Islam on a state level, on a societal level, that method prescribed is jihad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed that the ones who don't accept the ruling of Islam, they must be fought. This is simply the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Is that what we as Muslims want to implement here in the United States?
Okay, so that's starting over. Let's get to the next thing. I've got something else here. This is a man riding the subway after Mamdani became mayor, or, well, he's not mayor yet, but after he was elected mayor.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmat Allah, all passengers. You are currently on the J train. Inshallah, we'll be at the next stop in 7 minutes. Alhamdulillah. Have a good day, and remember, Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah.
So that's what it's like in New York right now. And let's go one more thing here. I don't know if I was sharing the screen there or not. Okay, so I think this is a couple more things here, This is how normal Muslims, not radical extremist Muslims, describe themselves in America. This is a Muslim man speaking to a group of Muslims, making it very clear this is what normal Islam is. This is not radical Islam. This is normal Islam. All right, let's get to that.
Muslims, you're not extremists, you're not radical. This is normal Sunni Muslims. Please,
normal Sunni Muslims, not extremists, not radical.
Muslims, you're not extremists, you're not radical. This is normal Sunni Muslims. Please raise your hands.
So, you see, it's a majority of them there. They're just normal Sunni Muslims. The rest of them, his hand's going up there, not quite up.
Everybody, mashallah.
Well, he smiled, that guy there. So he's a little unsure as to whether he's an extremist or not. And that's going to be the case with some of them, maybe. But a lot of them raising their hands. They're like, no, yeah, we're normal Sunni Muslims. We're not extremists.
Subhanallah. Okay, take down your hands again. How many of you agree that men and women should sit separate? Please raise your hands. Everyone agree. Everyone agree. Brothers and sisters. Subhanallah. So it's not just these radical sheikhs then. Allahu Akbar. Next question. How many of you agree that the punishments described in the Quran and the Sunnah, whether it is death, whether it is stoning for adultery, whatever it is, if it is from Allah and His Messenger, that is the best punishment ever possible for humankind. And that is what we should apply in the world. Who agrees with that? Allahu Akbar. Are you all radical extremists? Subhanallah. So all of you are saying that you are common Muslims. You all go to the different masajid in Norway. Or are you like a specific sect, like the Islam net sect or anything like that? Are you like that? No. Are you like that? Please raise your hand if you're like this extreme Islam net sect or anything like that. No one. Allahu Akbar. How many of you just go to these normal masajids in Norway, the normal Sunni mosques? Please raise your hands. Allahu Akbar. So what's the politicians gonna say now? What's the media gonna say now?
Yeah, what are they gonna say now? Because now they just have to actually talk about the beliefs of Islam and not label everything radical extremists, Muslims.
We're all extremists?
He finishes it. What are they gonna say? They're gonna say we're all extremists? How ridiculous. They're not going to say that. So, like, we're good to go. We're good to go. They're definitely not going to be saying that. And then here, back to Mamdani, talking about we will be taking over businesses that don't meet our demands. Taking over the businesses that do not meet our demands.
Starting on day one, we will expand the city's special enforcement programs, doubling fines for hazardous violations and tripling them for conditions that are immediately dangerous. And when a really bad landlord, like this guy, refuses to fix it, the city's going to step in, make the repairs, and send them the bill.
Okay, watch next.
If that doesn't work, the city's taking over the building. We're putting the worst landlords out of business.
He says, we're going to take over the building.
So it's theirs. It's the city's.
So you mean like seize the means of production
That's
like
exactly
communists?
Wait a minute.
So he's saying the quiet part out loud,
yes,
and people voted for it.
That's right.
Starting on day one, we will expand the city's special...
Saying the quiet part out loud throughout his whole campaigning. I've got videos of him I've played elsewhere. It'll be in the next video where he, or it might be, I'm clipping something up. He specifically talks about seize the means of production. It's specifically talking about seizing it. And this is it right here. This is seizing the means of production. It belongs to the state. So you don't have a right, you don't meet our demands, which it certainly is going to be his demands. It's not just that they're not meeting the law right now as it is. And if it is that they're not meeting the law right now, they're not meeting regulations and all of that, well then normal consequences of that are going to court and having fines and that kind of thing, losing licenses at whatever, all the processes that we go through a just system if someone is disobeying the law. But he's talking about, no, if they disobey the law, we're just going to take it over. And we're going to do that. Of course, we're going to add different laws onto it. We're going to make it whatever our demands are. That's why I said it the way that I did. If they don't meet our demands, then we will just seize the property. We will just seize the property. And that's how Marxism is. You seize property. Everything belongs to the state. Ultimately, you have to get to that level. And so, yeah, it's and now you've got people trying to come after Mamdani, and they're filing a suit against him about his him lying on his citizenship exam about being associated with the Socialist Party, the Democratic Socialist Party, and that's a party that you're not supposed to be associated with as a citizen. And he lied about not being associated with that party and basically trying to put his citizenship into question. We could hope that could go somewhere, but the man was just elected. Why not bring that out beforehand? Now he has all this support behind him. Now he can be like, well, I came and the people spoke and they voted me in, and it's going to be a lot harder for them to do anything with that now. You could probably like fully disprove his actual right of citizenship. Good luck. It's like, I don't see it happening. Like, why did you not go after him before about that? Why did you wait so long? Well, these things take time. Maybe they were in the process of it, but I don't know. I don't know when the suit was filed or anything like that. So we need to certainly be praying for New York. We need to be praying for this country, and we need to be praying for Christians in New York. If I was, I'd be looking for a way to get out of there fast. It really would. So many people are going to be leaving New York, and this really is the death nail to New York City. I hope there's a way that it could not be, but I don't see any other. I mean, like the most hopeful situation is that he can be blocked at every level for the things that he's trying to do. This is not a good thing for anyone. People can try and spin it the way that they want to spin it. Apparently Trump is trying to spin it, being like, oh, this would be good for Republicans. No, this is going to be bad for everyone. This is terrible for everyone. This is not good at all. watched a man talk about it who was in Venezuela before they had their mass destruction. Like people have that are not native born, that have come from countries with communism and socialism. They've seen the destruction that it's caused. They're usually the ones that'll speak the most candidly about it, and people will actually take it seriously because they lived through it. Some people will take it seriously. So it's sad to see what's happening there. So that's a little bit of a taste of what's going on, and we certainly should be keeping them in prayer. And all who desire to live a godly life will be persecuted, and that includes even those who aren't Christians. That's not the immediate application of that verse, obviously, but it's true. Those who are just trying to live a good life, live a godly life, promote righteousness, are persecuted in a different way. Not religious persecution if they're not Christians, but they're persecuted just for the sake of trying to provide for their family, trying to do the right thing, because now they're calling evil good and good evil, and it is a wicked thing. So that is what I have for you today. Click on the screen or below down there in the pinned comment to the next episode where we'll be talking about socialism. I'll be getting into what you need to know about socialism. You need to know this about socialism. Click on that screen there or down there in the pinned comment, and I will let you know that you'll want to see that next. I'll see you over there.